Okay. And starting with the heel of your right hand directly above your right ear, use your neck to push your head against your hand. Okay. And then with a large nodding movement, locate where the sore place is, the unyielding place.
Okay, it's there.
A little bit of left-right to find it. Looks like you have two.
Yeah, I've got a few.
Okay.
So there's one.
Okay, now that's your center point for the nodding. You knot on either side of that. And you let your chest sink to the left. Keep nodding. I know it's like thinking and chewing gum at the same time. The shoulder sinks into your neck. And then you let your head go toward your left shoulder, nodding continuously.
Ooh.
Now, if you find an unyielding place, pause right there and scan the rest of you for what you can let go of. Let go of what you can and resume the nodding. And resume head toward the left shoulder. If you locate another unyielding place, pause, scan yourself, let go of anything that doesn't belong.
Because I'm also, feeling it in the shoulder as well as the neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a legitimate target, but choose one for any pass.
Yeah, okay.
Don't switch midstream.
Okay.
Okay, now your hand position, switch to the other side. Pull with your neck. Pull back with your hand. Large nod to locate anything you can find on the left side of your neck. Yes, that's it.
Okay, there.
Okay. Start the nodding action. Let the chest sink left.
Uh-oh, I did sink left.
Already? All right then, and just let your shoulders sink in toward your neck. Keep nodding. And now draw your right ear toward your right shoulder as you nod. Remember, anything that's unyielding, stop, scan yourself, and let go of anything else that isn't part of this movement. Go to your easy limit. When you're at your limit, let me know.
I'm at my limit.
Switch your hand position. Your neck pushes your head against your hand. You nod to locate your working position, which is the least comfortable position. Yes, then left, right to target more exactly. And in that amount of turn of the head, nod. Let your chest.
So I think I went the wrong way with my chest last time.
Let your chest come to the right as your head goes to the left. Keep
Okay.
nodding. Keep nodding. And when you're at your limit, say so. Switch hand position. Pull with your neck, pull back with your hand, and nod to find whatever's left.
Okay, still there.
Okay, to a little left, right. Keep your attention in the thing that's still there.
Okay.
As you let your chest sink to the left, you nod continuously on either side of that place that you're working with. And from inside your neck, the base of your head, keep letting go. Your chest sinks left, your head comes right. Come to your easy limit.
Okay.
Okay, that's enough for the moment. Take a
Yes.
rest. And while resting, move your head in circles like the halo.
Okay.
And feel what you can feel about that. may do it with or without the hands for checking this result.
I have my hands in the right place?
They're a tiny bit forward. When they're centered, your head doesn't tend to go either forward or back. If you can locate the crown chakra from the inside by feel, you can place your hands right above it. What we're looking for is a degree of change in those places that have been sore, in that corner where your head and neck begin back, behind the ear.
Yeah, at the moment it's not catching
Well, right
the way it normally does. It's still a bit sore there,
yeah.
but not as sharp.
Okay, so it sounds like what? Did something change?
Yes.
All right then. So it sounds like this maneuver will be fruitful for you in clearing up that contraction in those corners there. It enables you to locate them by doing the nodding movement. You can find it with some precision. Then you know exactly where you have to let go from.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't let go from there, you scan the rest of you and find what you can let go of.
Right.
There's going to be all kinds of weird little things that you didn't know were there. They're weird because you figure, why the heck am I doing that when I'm supposed to be working with this place?
It wasn't that I felt any painful places.
No, it's just tight.
Just tension places.
Exactly.
You're still, so I would just breathe and relax and then go back to the neck and then let everything calm down instead of being more like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it should go.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my experience too, that I locate those places. They're never painful.
No.
They're just tight.
Yeah.
They're part of the tension,
Yes.
right?
Where everything's always holding.
And as I said, they're two ends of the same thing. There aren't two,
Yeah.
but they're unsuspected.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got a means now for getting into that, and then there's the rest of lesson 6. Yeah, do it on camera just so you can remind yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so just...
Okay, so I'm going following the eyes.
Notice how the right shoulder comes forward as the left side comes back. You feel a twist through your trunk. The next thing will be to keep your balance so your right knee stays down. There you go. And the next thing is to turn a little further to your right and see the farthest right thing you can see. It's okay to come off your left buttock in that part of the movement.
Do you have to keep your nose glued to your elbow?
No, that's one variation. The other variation is to turn further. Right now what we're doing is creating a good connection between your ribs, shoulder, and neck. So if your nose stays aiming at the crook of your elbow, you're getting a distinct sensation of what's where. Once you've done that, then you can turn further. There you go.
And you can let go more here?
That's right. You don't have to press as far onto the right hand. So here your weight is fully down on the right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you turn the other way, your weight is shifting toward the left.
Mm-hmm.
Now you may feel it in the left groin, the belly,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're balanced...
And you go more onto the thumb.
Yeah, or you can even lift off the hand slightly. Notice what you have to do that.
I can't do that.
Well, again, it's not a hard movement. It's a gentle movement. You get what you can. You lift a little bit of weight off the hand.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying that your hand lifts off completely. You're just decreasing the pressure. Pause there. Find your balance so the right knee can come down. Okay, and then switch sides. Okay. I want you to take a moment and feel the difference in your right and left sides.
reminds me of four-way spandex. It's the cotton with four-way spandex. You know, you can stretch it this way and you can stretch it that way.
Oh, yeah.
And you can stretch it this way and that way, but you got every direction. Okay. One to the left. Ooh, not going too far at the moment.
All right, that's just fine. So now you're going to find the change occur. And you can reach with your right hip forward.
Like this.
Exactly. And that's it. Now pause there. Find your balance so the left knee can come down. There you go.
Because I'm squeezing.
Yeah. So now you can unsqueeze what isn't necessary.
Yes.
That was perfect. Stay there. Feel that. Now come back a tiny bit. Now return to it. Back a tiny bit. And return to the same sensation. Okay, now go back a little bit. Remember the sensation. Keep the memory as you go into the movement. Hold that. Recall the memory. Now let go of the memory as you come out of that position. Good. Scan anything you're holding inside you that isn't part of this movement and let it go. Okay. Find the leftmost thing you can see. And then do a series of back and forth, creating a memory. Then hold the memory as you come out a little bit. And then go back into both the action and the memory. And then as you come out of the action, let go of the memory. And come to rest. And when you're disposed, before you move out of that, take yourself back into turn and see if your amount of turn is the same or different.
And then you would do it on the side too, right?
Well, it's just a check. You started out with a comment, ooh, I can't turn very far that way. So now, compare your end freedom with the amount of freedom you had when you started.
Yeah, I can see almost 360 degrees.
Okay.
Almost.
All right.
Follow your tongue.
Really? There's a sneaky part of this maneuver which Tom Hanna puts into the original lesson, which is that you switch your eyes left and right as you're doing the turn.
Mm-hmm. Rather than just following them to the left and then following to the right, you actually move them during, like the head nodding, only your eye nodding.
Exactly. You see, here's what. The neck muscles and the eye muscles are coordinated at the primitive brainstem level. And if you switch your eyes, you're creating internal responses in your neck. And as you alternate, you're alternately letting go of the neck reflex to turn one way and then the other way. So you're using the eye movements to dislodge a rigidity or grip in your neck.
So I can do that too.
Exactly. There are many intricacies you can add to this movement.
And then up and down and then around and around.
Actually, up and down is another variation in the original lesson. That's true too, by the way. You got it. See, these are all
jaw exercises added to the pivot.
Exactly. That's exactly right on.
Okay.
Okay, let's check your neck movement and see how that feels for you.
Well, you know the movement where when you're getting ready for the hamstrings, where you're up like this, and your head goes back, and you're doing this.
Yeah.
Well, when my head goes back, I often feel, and yesterday I was feeling this real pull down both sides of the ear into the neck.
Okay. How about now?
No, no, hardly at all.
Okay.
And I often find that in the beginning when I put my neck back, I've got my head slightly turned to the left. So as soon as I feel that pull, I adjust my neck to center instead of having it turned. And then I'm not feeling as much pull.
There are two strategies, and that's one of them. The other strategy is deliberately to turn into the way you tend to turn, to feel what it is to turn that way, so that you can stop doing that.
I did work on that, because when I go to bed at night, if I'm lying like this, I generally notice that I'm slightly turned to the right, and I'm putting a little pressure there, right? So first I relax it, and then I remembered, all the stuff you've been teaching me, so I started going into it and just doing a little bit of diamond penetration with it. But then I realized you would also have to balance it by doing the other side, so you have to do both sides right.
Again, there are two strategies. That's one of them. The other, which is very interesting, is if you do only one side, it creates a contrast between the side you did and the side you didn't do that enables you to tell what changed much more clearly.
Okay.
And that has a galvanizing effect on the nervous system or on our own internal self-sense that enables us to shift much more quickly. It's odd, but sometimes doing only one side produces a better outcome than doing both.
So I did the one side probably in bed, or maybe, I can't remember, but I probably did it 5 or 6 times, but it didn't really make a difference. Like I didn't stop. I still found when I lay down, I was still pushing into that area. So I didn't create a change.
Yeah. Again, that can be, and probably is, tied in with tensions elsewhere through you of which you're unaware that were hooked into that. And so dealing with it as a local problem can't work. You've got to deal with the entire action pattern. And that's why pausing in a moment of unsuccess and scanning the rest of you and letting go of what isn't part of the movement can free you.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll stop here. You've got something to play with.
Okay.